hold. It has now been 1 week since we started in the week, and we've just pretty much had enough rain every day to stop any more progress, unfortunately. Hoping we might have a look this afternoon, but it's going to have to be a very dry day to get going again. Had rain on and off most of the first half of the day yesterday, so I can't see us getting started later, but I will have a look. I'll have a look and just check, because stranger things have happened. In the meantime, you can see the drill behind me. I'm going to get this old girl ready for a bit of cover crop drilling. So the plan is, give that old girl a little once over and get the drill calibrated. But in the meantime, I've got a quick question for the machinery operators out there. Some may say a slightly controversial question, but is there actually any point in greasing up Varlastat discs? Now, hear me out. The grease nipple is here, hub here, disc here, and the grease goes through the shaft to this side and sort of sits between the disc and the bearing. Now, this is a hub off the machine, and this is a new version of the bearing that sits in that hub. As you can see, seal on both sides. So, well, the grease is going in and just sitting against the seal. Is that doing any good? Here's an example of a bearing that is greasable. So, grease nipple hole there. Then you've got this indent in the bearing outer race and a hole just there. So you squirt grease into this one and it goes into the bearing and actually lubricates it where it needs a lubrication. These ones, it just sits next to the bearing, between the bearing and the disc. So what good is it actually doing? Has anyone tested this theory? Has anyone tried just not greasing the bearings and seeing if they last any shorter or longer time than when you were greasing them? Answers on a postcard. That's looking a bit better. I'll be able to see out the windows now at least. Tell you what, it's getting a bit warm. I think I'm going to go and have a little sample in the wheat just to get a bit of a baseline, see where we are for the day. That is, as expected, rather soft, but there is a lovely dry out. I'm gonna get everything ready and check back after lunch. I'm gonna pop running it through the moisture meter at the minute because I think it'll be about 18-19% at least. I knew I didn't need to do that, but I got in the car and I thought I might as well since I've got it here. As expected, 19.7. It's gonna do very well to dry enough today. Yeah, 18.4. That has lost a pathetic 1.3% in nearly 3.5 hours. I tell you what, we might be on, you know. I've just tried some spring barley in the moisture meter. Got a 14.9 and a 15.3. So I think I'm going to have to switch over. I'm going to have to do it. I can't sit there and leave that, can I? Well, we're going to have a go, aren't we? So, hold on to your hats. I'll be very interested to see what the moisture meter says this is, because the combine seems to think it is 12.5%, and I think that's lying to me, but hopefully it'll be below 15. Now the moisture meter is claiming 13.7%. I'm not 100% sure I believe that, but we have got a whole crop sample moisture meter in the shed, so when he tips we'll get him to double check it and see what that says. But the crop is very fit. Hold on. Oh, perfect. Take her away, boy. The crop is very fit, and it's been about 40-something% humidity today. Warm, about 27 degrees, and windy, so perfect drying conditions. So it might be right. We'll find out in a minute when he gets back, see what the other one says. Well, I've had confirmation. Moisture meter number 2 is reading in the 13s as well, averaging about 13.5, so colour me shocked. Here he is, he's back again. Oh, top operator. Oi, little red, give your fans a wave and your missus. "25 acres in here." We seem to be running fairly sensible on the yield. Nothing super special, but hoping it will average above 7.5. That'd be nice. If we can get near to 8, even better. Yet to manage to grow one of these special crops of spring barley, which sometimes you hear of people doing 9-10 tons a hectare. We haven't had one of those unicorn crops yet, but this went in fairly good time. I think it's drilled on about the 7th of March, reasonably heavy land, so it was as early as I could push it really. And it did get a bit of rain just in time, which helped it fill out nicely, so it seems to be doing alright so far. I have just been treated to another fantastic harvest meal. And a drink. 2 Brambleby Farms burgers, fully loaded with cheese, pickles and homemade burger sauce. I can't believe that didn't make her jump. She jumps at everything, and I mean everything. Literally, she'll know I'm in the house, and I'll walk around the corner in the house and she'll jump out of her skin. Thought we were going to be on for a good scare there. Anyway, we just finished in here. That's gone very well actually. It's got down to about 12%, which is a little bit on the low side, but rather that than wet. gonna go get started in the next one. Don't know how long we'll go for, because you know what barley goes like after dark. It soon starts wrapping around the auger and feeding in a difficult manner. But we'll go get field opened up. "15 minutes into the trip to the neighbouring field. This is my least favourite road to take the combine down. It's not wide enough for the combine to fit on it. Pretty much have a whole wheel hanging over the edge on the grass. And then if you go over 10 kilometres an hour, whenever you drive into a grip in the grass, if you're not careful, you're going too quick, the seat bottoms out. That sends the forward joystick flying forwards, and then it tries to accelerate, and then you go through the next one even quicker if you don't catch it in time. End up smashing your head on the roof. It's getting to that wonderful time of the evening where spring barley, it's not keen to feed properly. I haven't really seen it do this before though. Usually it's more a problem on the auger, and it sort of throws itself back over the auger instead of feeding in, but for whatever reason, deciding to wrap itself around the reel on the end. I have to stop and try and sort that out in a second. Barley absolutely hates the damp. Basically, once the sun goes down, you're on borrowed time, and I've actually done fairly well to make it till 20 past 10, but within the last 15-20 minutes it's just become impossible. I did want to try and get one more load on. I've got half a load on the trailer, but I'm actually going to struggle just to get to the end of the field, I think. There we go. It's time to admit defeat. Well, another bit in the shed last night, but I think our fate may be sealed for today. Just started spitting, and it doesn't look pretty, does it? So I'm going to get the combine undercover, check back in another day.
Slightly ahead of the yellow line, but still within the pit box as Colin Pinto is obliged to come in ready for a pit lane start. And
have come his way both in Qatar. What will happen in Spa today? It's lights out, away we go. Piastri gets away well. Verstappen's going to have to try around the outside. On the inside is Lando Norris, and